Anyway,
So whatever. All right, I have the best news possible for the HBO show Velma. It's no more. Yay!
Hallelujah.
It is currently sitting at a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 1.6 on IMDb. This is one of the most loathed shows I have ever seen in my life. I will say I watched the first episode. It is a very strange mix of condescension and lampshading. Of very like, well, that just happened energy, but also saying, well, people or adults that watch cartoons are stupid. And Fred's only character aspect seems to be that he has a tiny penis. Like, what are you doing?
I got through 3 episodes of that show.
I'm impressed.
And I hated it. Loathed that show. And that was it. I was just like, no, I gave it a chance.
Yeah.
This is garbage.
I find this show extraordinarily confusing because it seems like Mindy Kaling did not want to make this show and had to. But she's Mindy Kaling. Like, she ran, executive produced, I believe, wrote and starred in a show that ran like 5 seasons. So there's no way that she's lacking for projects.
I don't know, man. I tried.
It seems like Scooby-Doo written by somebody that hates Scooby-Doo. And I don't understand how
it's like
that
the
happened.
Thundercats cartoon they made.
So, I actually have like a funny thing.
Yeah.
So, the YouTuber Jello Apocalypse has a video out, and this is relevant,
Yeah.
that he put out years ago. Like, this predates Velma. And it's titled, Who's the Best Scooby-Doo Character and Why It's Fred?
Okay.
And I'm letting everyone know the title because they genuinely should go watch the video. He's just correct. Fred is one of the best characters. But he said the one thing that makes the worst Velma is when she is so smart to the point of condescension constantly. And we had to pause and all sit there and look like, this came out a few years before this show was announced. Yeah. And they did exactly... Like, they essentially followed his play-by-play of what makes the characters bad.
Yeah. It's that, there's a Tumblr meme of 2 people cringing. It's like somebody just trying to be funny and then somebody with a dodgeball that says Apollo. Because it just, how do you do this years before? And yeah, 100% right. She's so condescending. And I'm like, why would you do that to Scooby-Doo? There's no reason. And you can... Go ahead.
Well, no, the worst part is there are so many iterations of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And you are now the worst.
And if you wanted to do a Scooby-Doo where they say fuck, you can. That actually doesn't break a crazy amount. Keep in mind that Scooby-Doo is based on a bunch of teenagers in the back of a van.
Blaze.
Let's be honest. Doing drugs and probably all banging each other. Like, this was the 60s. This is how this worked. When you see a bunch of teenagers in the back of a van, that's what was going on. So if you wanted to do, Scooby-Doo, but people say fuck, you can. And that's not what they did. They did something infinitely worse.
And this is something I've just realized, because I grew up with Scooby-Doo. It is one of my favorite franchises. We'll always be down to watch a Scooby-Doo movie.
Yeah.
Even things that are considered like the worst Scooby-Doo movie, the worst version of the Scooby-Doo cartoon, still have a measure of enjoyment in it.
Absolutely.
I say nostalgia hesitantly because that's not completely right.
Yeah.
Comfort, like there's something about it that's still
cozy.
Good. It's cozy. This is none of those things. Like, I look at this show with contempt. I watched 1 episode, like you did. And then, no.
They were in like a contest to be who's the most terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
They were trying to do like the Always Sunny thing where no one in the show is a good person.
Yeah.
However, they did have people that were good people. Like,
Always Sunny, I will say, pushes it because more and more ridiculous things happen. And so that eventually comes back to funny. It's the same reason Rick and Morty works. Yes, everybody sucks in a big way, but ridiculous things are happening, so it's still funny.
Yeah, and in Velma, ridiculous things are still happening, but they honestly feel very disjointed from what's
yeah.
going on. And again, when your main character is so insufferable, you can't stand her talking.
Yep.
It's a problem.
When you can't. Mindy Kaling. I do.
This is the first time I've seen something where it's her project, and I'm not impressed by it.
Yeah. So.
And I don't think she's going to have a great time.
Best possible news. There was a special, I think, October 3rd. There's no more.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
We're free. The evil has been contained. Yeah.
I look forward to what the Scooby-Doo franchise comes with next.